Hey guys, good morning. My name is Brian Craig. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Everyone, like the video if you don't mind. Click that notification bell too. It helps, it helps me a lot because it helps out the channel. And if it helps out the channel and it helps me, it helps MAGA. It helps President Trump too. Well, we got a lot to talk about on the stream today. Of course, we had this awesome rally last night in Pennsylvania with the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. And we'll talk about that a little bit and a bunch more, including Joe Biden reminiscing about the good old days of hanging out with segregationists, real segregationists. We'll get to that in a little bit because this guy, he's a real, what would President Trump say? He's a real beaut. He's a real beaut. What'd you guys think of the Trump rally last night? Every Trump rally, of course, every event Trump does is historic in nature. No president who has, especially a former president who will be back in 2024, can turn out a crowd. All they do, you see past presidents, right? Look at George W. Bush. He's sitting around doing Zoom meetings now, right? If George W. Bush, who had 2 terms already, right? If he had an event somewhere, think about it. How many people would show up? Oh, there's going to be a G.W. Bush rally in Pennsylvania in the rain. How many people would show up? 50? 150? Maybe. And then it starts raining and turns it into a mud bowl of those 50 to 150 that show up to see George W. Bush, which I think I'm being kind. I don't even know if that many would show up. How many would stay? That's exactly right. So, past presidents can't get a crowd at all. And even sitting presidents, other than President Trump, when they give speeches, they're usually at events like at a convention or something where people are already going to be there. Sometimes the next president will do a book signing if they can find a bookstore anymore, and a couple hundred people who show up to get their autograph on a book so they can sell it on eBay or something and make a couple bucks. President Trump had thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people wait in the rain all day, wait for him to speak. I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing. There's never been anything like this. Even Obama, who has the historical thing of being the first black president in the United States, and he couldn't even get crowds like this. Never. And President Trump has been on U.S. tour since 2015. All right, he came down the escalator, started having rallies. He hasn't stopped. And boom, it's a full house. Remember, the crowds are only restricted by the fire codes at these events. And this one, I was watching the rally in the afternoon yesterday, and it was really coming down. People were looking soggy. And you know what it's like when you're in that rain? Oh, man, it's awful. You're in that rain all day. You might have an umbrella. You might have some cheap raincoat, and you know how your skin feels? It's miserable. Especially in areas like this. I'm from Ohio originally, Florida now, but Ohio originally, which is like Pennsylvania, right? Next door. You get that hail. It's cold. Here it's like in the 90s, here in Florida in the middle of the day. But up there you get that rain. It's cold. And your skin, it's awful. It's really, the people that went to the rally in Pennsylvania yesterday went through weather and elements like you see on Survivor, right? You ever watch Survivor? They're out there in the rain, the storms, the tsunamis. It was like that. And for him to get a crowd out there like that in the rain, and for them to stay there all day through the rain is absolutely amazing. The political establishment of the different parties, they'll never get it. They'll never understand it. They're all jealous of him. They're jealous of the support that he has. They're jealous of the love that everyone has for him. I mean, look at this. President Trump is so popular. He even got a never-Trumper, J.D. Vance. He even got a never-Trumper to win the primary. That's amazing. I got a clip or two on the stream today that I'll play. I wanted to play this one, though. This is when President Trump, and notice, do you like this? He's wearing a jacket with the presidential seal on it. That's right. Got the presidential seal going on right there, President Trump. This is, and by the way, Newsmax did carry this rally. They missed the one in Nebraska because it was on a Sunday night. They got caught off guard, I guess. But they did carry this. This is President Trump. Let me expand this. Yes, this is President Trump. Look, I'm on stage with President Trump. This is President Trump when he called up Dr. Oz. Okay, so Dr. Oz, who's soaking wet with rain, he comes up and speaks. So let's share this. This is President Trump with Dr. Oz.
We can always count on Dr. Oz to stand up for the United States and against communist China. And if you don't mind, I'd like to have Dr. Oz come up and say a few words.
Okay, now the reason I'm playing this is what I was really wanting to know is, would there be boos? Would there be boos when Trump brought up Dr. Oz? Because a lot of MAGA do not like Dr. Oz. Now, I know Jack Posobiec tweeted a video that was earlier in the day. Dr. Oz came out and gave a speech, and there were some boos on that tape. On that recording, but I think the guy doing the booing was very close to the cell phone. But let's listen. Let's see what we're hearing here.
We can always count on Dr. Oz to stand up for the United States and against communist China. And if you don't mind, I'd like to have Dr. Oz come up and say a few words.
Now, I'm not hearing boos there. Do you guys hear boos? I'm not hearing boos. Let's see, though, if we hear any coming up.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Do we love President Trump, Pennsylvania? Has Joe Biden made us miss him even more? The only thing Joe Biden has built back better is the Republican Party.
Now, that's true. Now, Dr. Oz has done something I don't know if I've seen another speaker do. He got President Trump to laugh at his little joke. Have you seen President Trump laugh at a joke that one of the candidates he endorsed came up and said, "Watch, this is hilarious"?
Has Joe Biden made us miss him even more? The only thing Joe Biden has built back better is the Republican Party. That President Trump leads, he sees the shining city on the hill. He sees it here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. He's fighting to save it. But he's fighting for more. When you save the soul of Pennsylvania, you save the soul of America. And the rest of the world is watching us. They see a controlling, authoritarian surveillance state of China. They see democracy giving rise to capitalism that President Trump made function so beautifully just 15 months ago. Seems surreal that it's been ruined so quickly. That's what we're fighting for. That's why President Trump, it means the world to me that you're here, sir. God bless you. Thank you. And thank you for the endorsement.
Okay, now that's pretty good. Now, President Trump's going to talk just here for a second about Dr. Oz.
Thank you, Oz.
I guess that's what they call him. They call him Oz. That's what everyone calls him.
Thank you. He didn't need this. Just like I didn't have to be here tonight in this horrible rainstorm. Our First Lady said, "Are you crazy? Do it a different day." I said, "I'm not going to let those people down. They've been there for 4 days. We're not letting them down. We're never going to let them down." So the primary is on May 17th, but early voting begins this Tuesday, May 10th. Get out and vote. We got to do it.
Okay. Yeah, I got that off Newsmax. Because Newsmax carried it, and I'm a Newsmax guy. So, there's a lot of questions there. Oh, let me have a drink. My throat's dry. Hold on. I'm like Marco Rubio on a State of the Union response. Remember that? By the way, if you'd like to call in, we are taking calls here on the stream, and I'm using the same phone number today that I use when I'm on the radio during the week. So if you want to call me live on the stream, toll free, 888-465-2631. 888-GO-KANE1. 888-465-2631. Yeah, this... I just want to say a couple things here about Vance and Dr. Oz, because I know a lot of people got proud. I'm not voting for Dr. Oz. I'm not in Pennsylvania, so but you got to think about what President Trump is doing here, and I think it's important. I've been talking about this the last few weeks because we don't want MAGA divided. We want MAGA united. And what is President Trump doing here? And what you heard him say, I think was really very telling, something I talked about on the radio yesterday. He said, Dr. Oz did not need this. And what he means is Dr. Oz is rich. He is set up financially for the rest of his life. In fact, this Senate run will cost him money big time for the rest of his life because he's getting cut off from all of his Oprah Hollywood connections forever because of his love and support of President Trump. So what President Trump's plan is, you guys know what his plan is. He's draining the Republican swamp, getting rid of these Mitch McConnell types from running everything. And the reason that he's backing Dr. Oz, even though there's some controversial things from his TV show, and J.D. Vance as well, who I don't trust J.D. Vance at all. I really don't. I mean, he wrote a terrible book about his entire family, calling them hillbilly white trash. Okay, so how could you trust a guy that makes himself famous, calling his entire family, except him, hillbilly white trash? He's a scumbag. But what President Trump is trying to do is take the Republican Party back, right? And the Republican Party is controlled by big money interests, donors, China, the thing, just like the Democrats. And Dr. Oz, and I think J.D. Vance too, because they're so wealthy, they can't be bought by the donors like these other people do, right? These other people come to Congress, some of them have a little bit of money, but not a lot, and they start taking the payoffs from the donors, and you're not going to get that with Dr. Oz. Hello, you're live on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good, Brian. This is Richie.
Richie the bus driver. Hey, Richie.
Yeah, hi. I was watching. My friend was here for the last night, so I was watching sports, but I managed to switch over to, Fox. I believe carried it because I went on RSBN and he was on there. And then
Fox carries it on the Fox Nation app. To my knowledge, Fox didn't carry it on TV.
Yeah, I saw part of it. At least
Really?
Yeah, I think Fox had it.
Shocking.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they showed the whole thing. When I went through to go to the sports, they had it. But I got to tell you something. You're right. They were standing. I had questioned that. That I don't want them to saturate it too much. But he's really right on. He's right on his game, man. And It's not just that. It's that I think that the more we see in Washington D.C., the more popular he gets, because it's not just President Biden. It's our Speaker of the House, the backstabber. It's a lot. It's Scalise. It's all of them. It's the woman that's third in charge of the Republicans up on Congress.
Mitt Romney's daughter-in-law.
Yeah, I mean, enough is enough is enough. And they're worried about Dr. Oz. I'm not worried about Dr. Oz. I'm not voting because we're in Florida, but if I was in Pennsylvania, I'd follow whatever Trump says.
You got to. Well, you know what it is with Dr. Oz? There's a couple things. Some people are telling me in the chat that Hannity carried some of the rally. Okay, that's great. Good for Hannity. The thing with Dr. Oz is this, okay? The things about him with the trans thing, kids, and the abortion. Two things about that. One, the Dr. Oz show was produced by Oprah Winfrey, so he didn't have really much control over his content. That Oprah Winfrey did that, and also when you're in the position of being a physician, when you're a doctor, you're not supposed to be passing judgment on anyone. right? You're rendering completely non-biased, nonpartisan, medical. That people won't trust you if you get all judgy. So
No,
I think that I think we can trust Dr. Oz. J.D. Vance, well, that's another story, and
Yeah, what's his name? Mark Levin. he wanted the other guy because he said he was proven. But he, I guess we still have to vote for Vance. We have to vote for every Republican that's going to be up on the ticket. But I'm going to whatever President Trump says, you got to listen to.
That's right.
It's obvious as hell. It's us against them. And if we start splitting hairs, even President Trump, when they try to get him with that tape, and people started to get upset, and everyone thought the church was going to leave him. Thank God the church stayed with him.
Yeah.
The religious church,
Well, Dee in the chat, she's one of our moderators in the chat. She said that that Oz sounds like a politician. Dr. Oz is very polished because he's like a television guy. So, when you do this all the time, it's I have this habit too. It's just something that is, whenever you're in front of a microphone, you're a little more polished than if you're just hanging out with your buddies somewhere. You know what I mean?
I can tell you that Dr. Oz is a patriot. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. Everybody likes Dr. Oz. We got to get rid of that. We got to get rid of Mitch McConnell. All right, Mitch McConnell works for the Chinese. He screwed Trump over, and I believe Trump has promises from Oz and Vance to not vote for Mitch McConnell to maintain the Republican leadership in the Senate. That's what's going on here.
Mark Levin cannot stand Mitch McConnell. There's so many people that can't stand Mitch McConnell, but Mitch McConnell spends a lot of money on candidates that he handpicks and dumps a lot of money. He controls a lot of the money in the Republican Party, and that's exactly why he's not interested. He just wants to stay there in power. And if you believe Mitch McConnell, he's a backstabber too. Like
Mitch McConnell is an agent of China. Look, is there a man that is more physically repulsive than Mitch McConnell? Yet he is married to this woman who is a huge, well-connected heiress from China. Why do you think she's his handler? His wife is his handler.
Schweitzer said, I watched Schweitzer, I believe he was on Dan Bongino, the one that wrote the book. He said that China, that Mitch McConnell is the same as Biden, that both families are in the pocket of China.
Of course.
So that's why you never hear Mitch McConnell knocking China, do you? Never.
Not really. Sometimes they will because, they have to save face, they can go so far. But, Mitch McConnell's got to go. Not just because he's owned by China and works for China, and he's maybe he's guilty of some type of espionage because, he's responsible for what legislation passes and doesn't, and he's doing things to benefit a foreign power. It sounds like treason to me, but he stopped the Trump agenda from getting accomplished. And he's got to go. And if we got to get a couple jerks in there like J.D. Vance that we don't trust to get rid of Mitch McConnell, it's a compromise we got to make.
Now, in closing, in a way, it's a breath of fresh air, I guess. He's your partner, but at least you can have your own content on your own show on Saturday. You don't have to have.
Well, I have my podcast too. That's pretty much every day. You can listen to everything.
Yeah, but you don't have to be ridiculed with the radio show. I thought, Steve, it's hard for you when you're going, when you're going through a stick. And you got callers calling in, and then Steve calls in and then says, "I don't like this topic. Switch it."
Yeah.
It puts you.
And I have a full board of calls on it. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it puts you in a terrible position, and I know it's basically still his show, but my God, I have a lot of people have faith in you. They ought to just really realize that's the way it's going to be. I think your topics are pretty much on the spot.
Yeah.
But anyway,
yeah.
Have a great day.
All right, Richie, take care. Richie the bus driver. Oh, man. Oh, now here is Nancy Pelosi. Let me pull this up. I'm going to blow this up on the screen here. I apologize. I might wake you up in the morning. Be prepared for shock. There you go. Ooh. Oh, my goodness. This woman is just nasty. This is Nicole Wallace. She claims to be a Republican. She worked for John McCain. And she said she left. She called herself, when Trump was in the White House, She called herself a Republican in exile. And she said she would return to the Republican Party when Trump was out of office. Well, she hasn't returned to the Republican Party. She's still carrying the water for the Democrats. And she has Nancy Pelosi. Is this the Ukrainian flag that she's wearing? You know, the Democrats, Pelosi, they love Ukraine because they can pass all this aid relief to Ukraine, which is really a money laundering project of the Republicans and the Democrats. They pretend to love Ukraine, pass these quadrillion-dollar relief packages, and they have all their Build Back Better crap in it. So that's what that's about. But anyway, this is Nancy Pelosi. I wonder if she's really in San Francisco or if she has this San Francisco backdrop in Washington. I don't know, but she's talking here. Here she is on MSNBC.
But this is, I think, a right now crisis for a lot of women in this country. What do we do for them right now?
Roe v. Wade.
Yes, I think we have. I think you're absolutely right. We have to have a clarity in what this draft decision means, so that the final decision doesn't go that far. The Chief Justice has said this.
So isn't this interesting? Now, so she's calling this. She is what she is doing actually is encouraging, which is unheard of. Encouraging people to harass the Republican members of the Supreme Court of the United States to try to get them to roll back the decision that was leaked out by this leaker, who I think they've given up trying to find the leaker. Seems like that leaker, that's kind of been forgotten, you know. So she wants people.
This is authentic.
She wants people to harass and dox members of the Supreme Court.
We have. I think you're absolutely right. We have to have a clarity in what this draft decision means, so that the final decision doesn't go that far. The Chief Justice has said this is authentic, but it is not final. I don't want to use the word authentic. It says real, but not final. So again, Lincoln said public sentiment is everything. With it,
don't you love it? You know, when Democrats quote Republicans, you know, that really tells you the pulse of the. Oh, look at that! I just paused this and look. This is her reptilian body movement here. She's got her tongue sticking out of her mouth. I guess the dentures have slipped, and we caught her real quickly, Nancy Pelosi, fitting those dentures back into place. But you gotta love it when Democrats start quoting Republicans. You know they're in trouble.
Authentic. But it is not final. I don't want to use the word authentic. It says real, but not final. So, again, Lincoln said public sentiment is everything. With it, you can accomplish almost anything. Without it, nothing. And women just have to weigh in. I don't think there's a good outcome here, but I think there's a better outcome than what we have seen in the first draft, which is radical.
But
okay, radical. We're radical, right? You know, they're putting up fences, huge fences around the Supreme Court because of the harassment and everything. Who are those fences there to keep out at the Supreme Court? Not conservatives, because we've won. We're radical. Then why are they putting up fences to stop their crazy Handmaid's Tale ladies from harassing the Supreme Court of the United States? Now, I wanted to play this because I want to talk about this. Hold on. Let me pull up the audio of Biden here talking about the good old days when he had lunches with segregationists, okay? Because this is, let me pull this up here. Where is it? Let's just take a minute here.
The old days when we had...
There we go. Okay. Yes. Joe Biden. Okay, here he is.
Even back in the old days when we had real segregationists like Eastland and Thurman and all those guys. But at least we end up eating lunch together.
Okay, at least we ended up eating lunch. Real segregationist, as opposed to MAGA, who are not segregationists, but we keep calling them that. You know, this business with him eating lunch with segregationists. He did more than eat lunch with segregationists. He was mentored by segregationists. In fact, Joe Biden, when he first came to Washington, the Democrat Party leadership not only was made up of segregationists, they were proud of it, and they talked about it all of the time. Okay, and he was, mentored and came up through the ranks with segregationists. But I can tell you right here, right now, I have never had a meal with a segregationist. Have any of you? Have any of you? How when you're talking about segregationists that he's talking, we had lunch with him, good old days. You are talking about people, the ones that he's talking about, right, that were opposed to all of the civil rights legislation and in favor of maintaining segregation, were actively courting the votes of the Ku Klux Klan and anyone else who was lynching African Americans in the South. These are the people that he's bragging that, I had lunch with him all the time. And I could not, for the life of me, imagine sitting down and having lunch with people that are so ugly inside. I mean, think about it. Racist, segregationist. And by the way, those segregationists, they didn't just hate blacks. They hated Jews, so they were anti-Semitic. Could you imagine what they would have done if there was an openly gay couple around those segregationists? So there were lynchers, segregationists, racist, anti-Semites, homophobes, and everything else, and he just thinks that was the good old days. You don't sit down and have lunch and try to work out deals with Nazis, all right? And that's just my opinion, And could you imagine if President Trump or any Republican was reminiscing about the old days of having just good old times sitting around at lunch with lynchers, racist, segregationist, anti-Semites? I mean, my goodness. What the heck? What the heck? And just totally free pass from the mainstream corporate media on all of this. Now, I was watching Fox this morning, and they were talking about the shortage of the baby formula and everything. And I was talking on the radio yesterday, and they were calling it part of the supply chain crisis, and and they were talking, Mayor Pete, he's the Secretary of Transportation, and he talks about, the babies and all this. You think he would be front and center. There is not a supply, in my opinion, and no one has picked up on this but me. I saw a story yesterday. I played the audio on the radio, so I'm not going to play it here again, but I saw a story that was a television story about the baby formula crisis, okay? Well, maybe I should. You want me to pull it? I don't know. Maybe. Let me see if I still have it here. Because there was something in that story that really helped me to figure out what was going on here. Hold on. I got to scroll down. My entire show prep, what I do for is I post all my show prep on Twitter, okay? And Brian Craig Show on Twitter. When I read an article, I post it online, and so that I can go through my Twitter feed and have everything here like I'm doing now. Although this was early yesterday, so I got to really scroll down to find the story much further than I thought. Okay. Yeah, here's the story. Okay, look at this. Look at this story. I can't feed my son. Desperate parents cannot get hold of baby formula amid a national shortage as stores ration cans that are selling on eBay for up to $800 after an infection killed a baby and caused a huge recall. It is not because of a huge recall, and it is not because of this. There is a baby formula shortage in this country on liquid baby formula, not on powder. And that really got me thinking. The powder baby formula, not all babies can take it. In fact, in this story that I pulled up here, they interviewed some parents whose child won't drink, won't eat the powder baby formula for whatever reason. My daughter, when she was a baby, we couldn't feed her the powdered baby formula because it caused massive constipation. We had to take her to the doctor for put her on liquid. When I realized that the baby formula shortage is only liquid and not powdered, I realized what was happening. They got every story in the book: recall, supply chain, COVID. The federal government has done a massive purchase of liquid pre-made baby formula for the illegals at the southern border because they are expecting a huge influx of illegals coming through the southern border, and that's why. And they don't want to buy the powder, the government, because then there's a process, it takes time, there's labor. They want the canned stuff. That's why there's a shortage of baby formula. Not any of these other stories they're telling you. They're expecting, I don't know how many tens or hundreds of thousands of infants that need baby formula coming through the southern border. And that's why most of the baby formula shortages are out west. Because I've seen a lot of stories about this, and a lot of them are in the West. Most all of the shortages are in the West because that's where they're doing the purchases to bring them, to the southern border. And that's the secret that they don't want to tell you. And it's another example of this administration, right? And this administration and what they want to do, which is help anybody else other than Americans. And, one thing about baby formula, they never put Americans first. Always last. And if you're an American who wants Americans first, you're ethnocentric, you're racist, you think of, baby formula is food, okay? It is food for babies. And they were talking on Fox early this morning that they're recommending that parents dilute the formula. Baby formula is filled with vital, not just calories, but vitamins and everything else that babies need. This is food. And they can't eat regular food. And most women don't breastfeed, and a lot can't. So, this is just just the way it is. And no one wants to talk about the big secret. The big secret that and remember, this happened when Obama was president with ammunition. Okay? Itchy Brain, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Everyone thank Itchy Brain for that $5 super chat. He says they are burning food processing and plants so that they can automate them. What do illegals do then? Yeah, right, exactly. But this is what's going on with the baby formula crisis. And it made sense to me when I found out that the powder, there's no shortage on the powder because the government just, doesn't want to do that. Now, Mike Lindell yesterday, you see the MyPillow TV commercials on television. Of course, MyPillow, big supporter of all of my content, my YouTube channel, my podcast, and of course on the Steve Kane Radio Show. And yesterday, this was amazing that Mike Lindell and MyPillow did this. They, those TV commercials you see for MyPillow, they made one for my YouTube channel where they have our phone number that you can call in and our promo code to get discounts up to 66% off on MyPillow products. And it's pretty cool. They've done this for us a couple of times. And boom, yesterday I get an email from Mike Lindell's office. Mike Lindell had them make a special TV commercial with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, which you'll see in the bottom right when I play this, so that I can share it on YouTube. I thought that was pretty cool and very nice.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. I started by using the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. I guarantee you they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own.
I do not like my sheets. I love my Giza Dream sheets.
I'm interrupting this commercial to bring you my BOGO extravaganza. For example, you can buy one of my Giza Dream bed sheets and get a second set absolutely free. Or my 6-piece towel sets. Buy one set, get another one absolutely free. Or you can get my classic premium MyPillow and get another one absolutely free. So call the number on your screen or go to mypillow.com. Use your promo code to get my buy one, get one free offers and get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. Hello, I'm Mike.
Isn't that amazing? They got our promo code there and everything, Kane, and this is the phone number to call with our promo code to order. And they just, boom, did that. I thought that was pretty cool. So, again, save up to 66% off. And the BOGO extravaganza, I was talking about, the phone number to call in, I'm using the same number I use on the radio, 1-888-GO-KANE 1, 888-465 2631 is the call-in number if you'd like to call in. Now, save up to 66% off with our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. The BOGO extravaganza is going on, and a whole bunch of things are buy one, get one free. And Kathy and I, because of the BOGO offer, we got this week, we ordered that we just got them the other day, 4 of the MyPillow Giza Elegance pillows. And I brought mine here. I took off the pillowcase so I could show you. This is the MyPillow Giza Cotton Elegance pillow, which is also BOGO, and it's an upscale version of the MyPillow, and the cover on it is made of the Giza cotton from the sheets. And then look at this. You see this? You've got the lining here, and it's so unbelievable. Yeah, I know, and it's buy one, get one free. We got 4 since it's BOGO. We thought it was a good time because who knows? These are the upscale ones. You see the lining there. They're pretty awesome, so go and check that out. And, again, of course, use our promo code Kane so you can save up to 66% off, and of course a lot of cool BOGO offers there with our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at checkout at mypillow.com. So this is the.
I think we're going to see more allegations of that.
All right.
There's already.
Hold on. That voice you're hearing, I'm going to play you the video. This is the Minister of Disinformation. Oh man, ugh. Who would you, if you had to look at one woman, would it be the Minister of Disinformation here or Pelosi? Ooh, that's pretty shocking. I don't think I even needed my coffee with some of these images I'm showing you. I apologize for the disturbing images. So this is the Minister of Disinformation. She's let me tell you, I believe she's not sane. And I don't mean just because she's a liberal. I think this woman is just a mental patient, and I don't say that lightly. You know, I don't call people mental patients very often. I mean, that's a serious thing for me to say. Okay, I take mental health very seriously. This woman is not a sane woman. All right, watch this.
There's already this idea, this allegation that there is anti-conservative.
You see it in the eyes. You know, you know who she reminds me of? Governor Whitmer. She's got that same look in her eyes, in her face that I see from Governor Whitmer, who's also insane.
There's already this idea, this allegation that there is anti-conservative bias on the platforms, even though there has been study after study proving, in fact, that often it's liberal voices that are being silenced, particularly minority voices on social media. So I think we're going to see more allegations of that.
Okay, so who do we know that's been banned from social media? President Trump, Mike Lindell, Laura Loomer, Milo Yiannopoulos. You know, the list goes on. Who is the high-profile Democrat that's been banned from social media? Do you know of any? You know, I don't hear them say, oh, everyone's talking about President Trump, but this Democrat, can you think of one? You know, Putin, who's a war criminal, according even to the left. Putin is on Twitter. The Taliban leaders on social media, right? The Ayatollah over in Iran is on social media. You know, come on. John Hinckley, we were talking a few weeks ago. John Hinckley, who shot President Reagan, is on Twitter. Who are the high-profile Democrats that have been banned from Twitter that she's talking about? By the way, can someone give her some makeup lessons, ladies? I mean, she kind of looks like she gets her makeup done by, very bad beauty pageant people. Let me get her off of there. Oh, man. Yeah, what high-profile Democrat do you know that has been banned from social media? And can you put together a list like we can of Republicans? It goes one way. You know, the people that there's a new video out from Project Veritas where they confronted on the streets, I think it was in New York City, a Twitter executive, and the guy ran down the sidewalk away from them. Did you see this video? It's hilarious. And James O'Keefe is chasing him down the sidewalk, asking him questions on camera, and the guy is running with one hand up like this. That's not how guys run, But it's really hilarious. But what the thing with these the Twitter overlords, they have had so much power. I mean, think about it. They banned the sitting president of the United States during a national emergency from social media, right? And they're acting like deposed dictators. You know, they've been deposed. They got a few months left till Elon Musk takes over, and their whole world is melting down because they thought that they had this power that was going to be around forever. And they have been abusing their power like a dictator, like Saddam Hussein in many ways. And boom, they've lost it now. Now, Elon Musk, I'd like to ask you guys what you think about. By the way, if you want to call live on the stream, the number's toll free. Richie already called. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's the same number that I use on the radio during the week. And by the way, if you're new here, please subscribe. Click that notification bell. You're going to love this channel. If you don't love Trump, guys, you will if you watch me for a couple of weeks. I promise you. And everyone else who's already subbed, please like the video. That helps a lot when you like the video. It really does. It tells the YouTube algorithm to recommend this video and all of my content to others that have not yet discovered me. And I want to be discovered, right? But anyway, Elon Musk, I'd like to know what you guys think about this. He's talking about a $3 a month Twitter subscription. Would you pay that? I would. I'd pay $5 a month. I think it's worth it. And I'll tell you the subscription, because I know a lot of people might gripe about the subscription. You know what the subscription model will do? It'll stop a lot of the fake accounts. It'll stop a lot of the fake accounts. You know, because Elon Musk said he wants to cleanse Twitter of the bots. Bots can't do the $3 a month subscription. So, you know, and the influence that a lot of these blue checkmark people have, politicians and celebrities, their follower numbers are fake, and they know it. Okay? And when the great Twitter bot purge begins, you're going to see people leaving Twitter in droves, the blue checkmark people, because a lot of them, their true following is just little tiny little following, nothing like they want you to think they have. And the subscription model, $3 a month on Twitter, will weed out so much of the fake activity on the platform. It'll also stop people from having a whole bunch of fake accounts too. And it's just a mechanism that he's using to weed out fake content and fake interactions. So I think it's worth the three. I think $5 a month. I don't think it should be more than $5, but $3 a month, $5 a month to weed out the fakeness on Twitter. I think that's a fair price, and I am very much willing to pay that, right, to get our free speech back on the internet. Now, I don't know. We're doing like an anti-beauty contest today, right? Pelosi, the Minister of Disinformation. Now I got Joy Behar up here. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I know. What is it about these liberal women that they're all so unattractive? My goodness. Anyway, the ladies of The View, they had a token Republican who I've never heard of before, black Republican lady, joined The View, and Sonny and the ladies in the coven here, they just can't handle it.
Chris Cuomo, I know. Okay, but I know.
See, this woman here, she is a Republican.
Chris Cuomo, I know. Okay, but I know this may be a novel point, a novel idea for somebody who's, a supporter of Trump. But there are people who are capable of being related and not having ethical interests.
There's many things that I don't stand by that Trump did. Trump has done things that are racist. I'm a black woman first.
She said, this is our Republican on The View. She said she's a black woman first, and there's things that Trump has done that are racist, and they still don't like her because she's a Republican, by the way. What has Trump done that's racist? And this thing about she's a black woman first. If I told you that I'm a white man first, what would that sound like? I'd sound like those segregationists that Biden was bragging about having lunch with. What a racist thing to say. I'm a black woman first? That's insane. That's insane. But anyway, she says Trump's done some racist things. I'd like her to tell us what those are.
a novel point, a novel idea for somebody who's, a supporter of Trump. But there are people who are capable of being related and not having ethical interests.
There's many things that I don't stand by that Trump did. Trump has done things that are racist. I'm a black woman first, so always understand that. But I do say that I have many conservative values that I will talk to you about. And so if you look at your network that you're standing behind, yes, and when you look at your network that you're standing behind, you're saying that you look at Chris Cuomo.
I feel like that's an oxymoron, a black Republican.
You feel like it's an oxymoron?
I do.
Why? Your friend right here is a Republican.
We had this conversation many times.
You do, and you say you feel like it's an oxymoron that you're Catholic, but you also are pro-life.
I don't understand either.
No, you don't understand yourself then. You have disagreements.
I understand myself. I don't understand either of
but it's not a personal conversation.
Yeah.
We're having a personal conversation about CNN
I don't
and how
black
things can get
Republicans,
leaked.
and I don't understand Latino Republicans.
Well, here's what
Look at her. She cannot even look at her. She cannot even look at her. But she's the Republican's the one filled with hate. And she can't even look at her.
Today, this is not about me, and it's not about you. It's about celebrating Karine Jean-Pierre.
And I think we should, and we can agree on that.
Yeah, the anti-Semitic White House press spokesperson. Oh, my goodness. Even when they have a Republican that says they don't like Trump, and she says Trump is racist, which is stupid and absurd, of course, just because she's got an R next to her name and she's an African-American woman, they just can't handle it over on The View. That's how they roll, and you can see, they've lost it. They've lost it. They're losing. It's just like Dr. Oz said, right? Just like Dr. Oz said, the only thing that Biden has built back better is the Republican Party. And that's the way it is. Now, this here, judge rules against group challenging Marjorie Taylor Greene to be on the ballot. So she's won. She's won her right to be on the ballot, Marjorie Taylor Greene. When have you heard? I mean, this is just insane. This is how the liberals are. When have you heard of people being taken to court who are sitting members of the United States Congress to have them taken off the ballot? And they have to go to court and prove that they should be on the ballot. Don't you just put people on the ballot who win, and then the voters decide? And even though Marjorie Taylor Greene won this, which is a very good thing, and I'm glad because I love Marjorie Taylor Greene, this is the beginning of something very bad. Everything in American law was on legal precedent. So now they've taken a Republican to court. She had to go to court. She had to testify. It was televised, very high profile, to prove to a judge that she should be on a ballot and people should be able to vote for her. They're going to start doing this to Republicans that are very popular all the time. And Marjorie Taylor Greene has them scared because you know what? Marjorie Taylor Greene very well may one day be the Speaker of the House. And they know it. They know it. And, she doesn't take any crap and she doesn't apologize. And we're going to see many Republicans in the future taken to court.
I repent, sir, for murdering babies.
And being challenged in all kinds of ways. Now, this video is really twisted. There's a guy, he's in front of an abortion clinic, and I don't know if this guy's a doctor, but he comes out of the abortion clinic, and he's wearing scrubs. And the way he responds to this protester is something that is just, it's telling, it's revealing. And by the way, if you were going to have an abortion, would you go to a place that has armed security outside? I mean, that just seems like, I think I'd find somewhere else if I were these ladies. But anyway, watch this.
You gotta repent, sir. You gotta repent, sir, for murdering babies.
Why?
Because it's a sin before God.
Why?
Wow.
Stinky breath.
Yeah,
Why?
that's pretty evil of you, sir.
Yeah, I am.
And I hope and pray that you...
Yeah.
Well, that's what you do to babies, huh?
Yeah, I love it.
You love it, huh?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I hope that you come to Christ, sir.
Oh, I never go to Christ.
I hope that you come to Christ,
no,
sir.
No, I don't go to Christ.
Yeah,
I don't listen to Christ.
You will have a darkened heart, sir.
I do have a darkened heart. Yeah.
You have a darkened heart.
I do, very, very much so.
And you will stand before God in judgment day.
Yes, I will. Every day.
You will stand before God in judgment day.
Yes, I will. Every day.
All of the babies that you have killed.
I love it.
Yeah, keep tearing the babies apart.
Yeah, I will.
Keep tearing the babies apart.
I
will.
Oh, he is a doctor.
Keep tearing the babies apart. Yeah, sir. The babies, their blood screams.
Okay, so he is a doctor. Wow. You know, this guy should have an investigation done into him. If he is in charge of making, he's the doctor, he's in charge literally of life and death decisions, helping women through a difficult thing in their life, and he behaves like this in public. I mean, that tells you that his judgment is off, not just a little bit, but his judgment is off a lot. And that's the kind of doctor that works in these facilities. People that, you know, if he were your doctor, right? Like if this guy was your regular, you know, primary care physician, and you saw him behave that way on a sidewalk to a guy with a camera, wouldn't you change doctors? Would you trust that guy to handle your medical care? And take the abortion out of the mix. If he was any kind of doctor, if he was a chiropractor, would you let that guy give you a chiropractic adjustment? No, he's an insane person. You know, and it seems that there's today on these videos we're watching, there seems to be a lot of Democrats that have a lot of psychological issues. You know, and these are the days that we are in. And, you know, the reason that they're having meltdowns at these particular levels is because we are winning. We're winning. Now, there's a link pinned to the top of the chat, and this link takes you to a new shirt that my wife made that's in my shirt shop, and it is the Ultra MAGA shirt. And I got she ordered one for me, and we'll have it coming soon, and when I get it, I'll of course wear it on the stream and you'll be able to see it. But if you want an Ultra MAGA shirt, there's the link to it right there. Now, look at this. Look at this. Meghan McCain, new book came out, sold less than 300 copies. Meghan McCain's new book. And yet, you know, on the stream last weekend, we were talking about Jill Biden's book. She sold 200 copies. So between Meghan McCain and Jill Biden, the sitting First Lady of the United States, can you believe? They sold about 500 books between the two of them. What does that tell you about the popularity of these people on the anti-Trump side of things? Because Meghan McCain, you know, she considers herself a Republican and all. It tells you one thing and one thing only. MAGA is where the heart and mind of the American people are, and the never-Trumpers, the anti-Trumpers, and the Democrats have completely lost touch with the pulse of the American people. And look at this picture I found, by the way, of Marjorie Taylor Greene. Would you mess with her? Oh, my goodness. She's like a bodybuilder. Could you imagine? Oh, my goodness. I would. That's why they hate her. She's a strong woman, a truly strong woman, and they hate her because of it. Before I go, I want to play...
A lot of them are queer because...
Okay, yes. I want to play... Yes, that's true. This is from Libs of TikTok. And I didn't mean for this to be a host of videos by people whose mental sanity is questionable. You know, a bunch of deranged Democrats today. But this isn't just disagreement. None of these Democrats, the videos I played today, Pelosi, out of all of them, Pelosi seems the most together sane person. This is from Libs of TikTok, which is just the best account on Twitter. And this is a school teacher, a deranged school teacher, in her classroom. Right? So look at this.
My kids from last year are now in 5th grade, and they come visit me almost every day after school. And a lot of them are queer because I am queer, and they figured it out, and so I've become their safe space. And today they found my Guess Who, and they started playing Guess Who, but they didn't play it the normal way. How did they play it? They used things like, this person looks like a lesbian baddie who's gonna come over and make you dinner. Well, which one of these characters is a lesbian baddie that's gonna come over and make you dinner? Oh, Olivia is? Oh, great. Which character just looks gay? Well, meet Mike. These kids, I'm so happy that they are figuring out who they are and that they're happy with who they are and that they found a safe place. But man, I could never imagine being in 5th grade saying these things out loud, even though I know they're all okay. I grew up super religious where nothing was okay. And so seeing this happen, I'm like, ah! But I'm also like, yay! But ah!
Okay. Now that when it came up on the screen, internalized homophobia, this teacher, she put in those graphics herself. So she's saying that she, even as radical as she is, she has some internalized homophobia that she's still trying to deal with. Now, unfortunately, this is not a school teacher in Florida. If this was a school teacher in Florida, she'd be out with Ron DeSantis, right? But what has happened here is that, and these teachers you're seeing are younger teachers, they're not old veteran teachers. These are teachers who grew up and came of age during the era of Obama. My wife, Kathy, calls them the Obama generation. And they have had, I don't know how this happened, but they had a mass recruitment drive of these lunatic activists into the teaching profession. And even with all the controversies going on in our society over this, these teachers that you see on libs of TikTok, most of the time, they're making these videos in their classrooms, and they have no fear of anything happening to them. You know, when I was in school, I didn't know very much about my teachers. I didn't know if they were married, divorced. Every once in a while, you know, you'd find out one was married, had a wife or a husband or something. But I didn't know anything about the private life of any of my teachers all the way up through high school. And I think that's true with most people. And this new generation of activist teachers, they believe they have a duty to do this grooming thing that's going on. And the reason that they're targeting the elementary school age children is because elementary kids, they are totally open to anything their teacher tells them. They look up to their teachers. The teachers have a lot of control over them. They view them as a parent, even though they shouldn't. And I can remember sometimes when I was in elementary school, a couple times I remember kids slipping and calling the teacher mommy. Ever see anything like that happen? So it's not an accident that these most extreme teachers with this grooming stuff like this you're seeing going on, okay, are elementary school teachers, because that's when they can do the most influencing over their very young minds. And it's really outrageous. It's very disgusting. And you know what? As terrible as it is, it's helping us, because millions of people in this country see these videos on social media, and you don't have to be a ultra MAGA Republican to know that there's something wrong with this, okay? And they are pushing and pushing more and more people away from the Democrats, right into being ultra MAGA. Well, listen, everyone, thanks for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Everyone, please like the video. My name's Brian Craig. Thanks for joining me.